So I guess I'd like to ask you, if you would, look ahead and tell me, what do you think will be the impact of this law over, say, the next 12 months or 24 months?
I think a near-term impact will be that companies that have been struggling with the capital markets to find availability of cash for new investment, whether that's in incremental additions to their business or it's overhaul or it's restructuring of their balance sheets, the capital markets have been so constrained and so challenging that this basically provides an alternate route to some funds, and that injection of funds will or can be immediate. That means that my prediction of the near-term impact is that companies that have been putting off projects, have been putting off equipment replacement, have been looking for but not being able to avail themselves of the increased efficiency of some new technology, they'll have an immediate shot in the arm if they found themselves having paid tax 5 and 4 and 3 years ago during the times that people would generally describe as more boom times, but they weren't able to reach back that far to capture the benefit with their more recent losses. In the last 2 years have been really hard on companies. So this allows them to go back and level the playing field. And that, after all, was the whole intention of carrybacks. The problem was that a 2-year carryback didn't really allow businesses to avail themselves of the intended leveling. The budget office has done some analysis and has determined that the average business cycle since World War II has about a 6-year life cycle. So if the purpose of the carryback and carry forward provision on losses was to allow businesses to levelize their investments and to not be hit extra hard with taxation on good years and then suffer losses that didn't help them by being able to carry back to those years when they actually paid in tax, the time frame was too short. The lengthening out to 5 years now really gives businesses a stronger footing to be able to say, it's time to come out of hibernation. It's time to actually jumpstart some of these projects. It's time to get going again and to start investing. So my prediction is that we will see a near-term uptick in business activity, and that growth will come in the form of replacing equipment that's been on delayed replacement cycles. It'll come in new business projects because capital availability was the primary limiter.
This continues to be very good news, and I think what we're hearing from you dovetails with our initial sense of what the law meant, and also I think it echoes what we're hearing from some of the people we're talking to in the marketplace. Now, I know that you've got a pretty broad view of the economy. I know that you personally deal with a variety of industries. If you would, what kinds of specific industries and businesses do you think will benefit the most significantly from the NOL carryback provisions?
I think the first will be the construction business. And the reason for that is that construction, whether that's new homes or general construction, has been in many ways hardest hit by the downturn in the economy generally and on the difficulty in finding capital availability.
Our friends at Associated Equipment Distributors have a new Start Us Up USA initiative, and one of the findings of a report they released suggested that the construction industry was actually not in a recession but was in a depression.
Mm-hmm. I think if you know anybody who personally is in that business, they'd probably concur. And the ripple effect there, of course, is not just those who are attaching pieces of lumber to each other with nails. It is all of the ancillary and support businesses. So it's the raw materials, everything from concrete and building materials. It ripples back all the way to the forestry industry. It's certainly the transportation industry that's used to hauling that stuff. It has a profound adverse effect on the broad economy when construction itself turns down. So I think construction, transportation, as I mentioned before, technology. I think technology will see some uptick because companies are constantly looking for ways to get greater efficiency out of either fixed spend or reduced spend. And the trade-off between headcount and improved technological efficiency continues to point in the same direction. And that is that a dollar spent on improved technological efficiency will fall more directly to the bottom line than than the more expensive and heavy load of fixed overhead and headcount. So companies have been putting off those decisions, and this is an opportunity to actually get back to it. Now, one of the other data points that I find that encourages me to think about why construction is going to be the primary beneficiary was another analysis that I've read from the Bureau of Economic Analysis and the Internal Revenue Service data. They suggest that the NOL relief should generate over 53,000 jobs in the construction sector during the 12 months after the enactment. So 12 months from November is when the expectation is that there will be the creation of 53,000 jobs in the construction industry, and that the tax relief may prevent the failure. These are, again, stats from the Bureau of Economic Analysis and the IRS. This particular business tax relief may prevent the failure of more than 7,900 businesses, mostly small businesses, and that it could create more than 230,000 jobs in sectors outside construction. So those, not just the home building and construction business, but all those related ones that I referred to, the impact here could be very, very noticeable and very quick. As you think about individual companies and tendencies, though, there's another impact in a further answer to your earlier question about what do I expect to see. With the ability to reach back and reclaim taxes paid during more profitable years and bring up to $33 billion of current cash into the marketplace, the impact on the going forward years will also reflect that. So, for example, if the limitation was on 2-year carryback and there was NOL carry forward to absorb taxable income from future years, it would prolong the tendency of companies to feel as if they were still in a stymied state. But now we may see more companies that will have used up their NOLs because they've been able to apply them and monetize them, turn them into cash, which means that if they make money next year and the year after, that may be taxable. And so if those profits are taxable because they don't have an NOL carry forward, it's going to put additional emphasis on being tax efficient in every way possible. And certainly from your perspective, from Accruit's perspective, being able to assist companies in optimizing the benefits of equipment replacement and optimizing the tax efficiency of asset replacements by doing a like-kind exchange and rolling the basis forward into the new equipment, not having to pay up the current tax on gain. The whole like-kind exchange tool or weapon is going to become even more important to companies that might find themselves being taxable next year because they thought they were going to be an NOL carry forward, but now they've been able to apply it and monetize it, turn it into cash.